Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Hope you're all doing fantastic on this fine morning of ours. Is it a Thursday? It's a Thursday, folks. That means it's a perfect day to head to Underdog Fantasy. That's right. It's the best and easiest place to play fantasy football for big cash prizes. On Underdog Fantasy, you just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. Underdog handles that all for you. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. You get a free $25 in bonus cash if you use the code Cheesehead when you make your first deposit. That $25 is worth 5 free entries into the Puppy 3, a fantasy football tournament with $1 million prize money and a $200,000 prize for first place. Let's say you miss out on drafting Aaron Rodgers in your main league, because everybody's got a main league. They've been playing in with buddies for a long time, right? You can go sign up for Underdog and draft Aaron Rodgers 5 different times. You can get all of his best scores throughout the season. You don't even need to worry about your lineup. Underdog will handle that for you. You can do that with all the Packers. You can do it with Devontae, Aaron Jones, whoever you want to make sure you get and enjoy this fantasy output throughout the season. Head to Underdog Fantasy. And I know, I hear you. Aaron, I'm not a fantasy person. I don't do fantasy. Fantasy is not my bag. You know what is your bag? Finding out more about the 2021 Green Bay Packers through the official Green Bay Packers yearbook. That's right. Head to packersyearbook.com. Use code CHTV to get 10% off. You can also subscribe to the Game Day magazine delivered direct to your inbox the morning of every single game. Again, code CHTV to get 10% off. And finally, while you're tooling around the internet, head over to VINFL.com. That's VINFL.com. Not only do they have this sweet Acme Packers hoodie, they got a bunch of Acme Packers merchandise for you to check out. Use code CheeseheadTV to get 15% off. Then come on back here and let's talk some Packers, because that's what we do. Hello to everybody in the comments section, especially Jeezy Baby, starting us off with a super chat saying, do you ever think they will sell stock again? Have friends that keep asking about it. My stocks are soaring. They will eventually. It'll be a while. I would suspect probably, hopefully, the next time they win a Super Bowl, they will have another sale. Mark Murphy has indicated there are certain restrictions and regulations that they have to abide by when it comes to a stock sale that the NFL has put in place. But usually, traditionally, they have opened it up after they've won a Super Bowl. That happened in 96, 97, happened in 2010, 11. And I suspect if they can get over the hump and win another one, it'll happen again soon. Stanley, thanks for the super chat. I'm still upset we kept Perry over Peppers. You hold on to that upsetness for that long, man. It's not going to do you any good. Let it go, dude. Let it go. I mean, I say that, and I'm still upset that Jerry Rice's fumble wasn't called as a fumble, so I'm throwing stones in a glass house here big time. What's up? What have we learned about our new defense this preseason? Do you think our D will hit the ground running? Alex, I don't, actually. I think it's going to work itself into shape, much like it has the last few years. That's just an honest assessment. Haven't learned much of anything because we haven't really seen much game planning or scheme work as far as how Joe Barry is going to call a game. I'll tell you what, though, I am thoroughly prepared, absolutely 100% prepared for Week 1 against the Saints, seeing a 3rd and 3 and seeing the corners play off 5 to 8 yards. I'm ready for it. I just know that's not going to change. I'm going in with a low bar, people. It's a low bar that I'm setting here. You start out depressed, everything's a pleasant surprise. Salute. Are the punter and holder for the season currently on the roster? I would suspect so, yes. But we don't know. We're never going to know. I think if J.K. Scott has another inconsistent showing against the Bills, that might sign his pink slip. But for the most part, yes, I think they are. Will we ever see a defense like the 2000 Ravens or 85 Bears again? You mean in the NFL generally or in Green Bay? In Green Bay, don't hold your breath. I mean, to that level of domination, it might be difficult given the rules that are put in place to help the offense. But, there's still something to be said for being able to control things up front. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. When you only have to rush 4 dudes to put pressure on the quarterback. Now, obviously, in the Super Bowl itself, Kansas City was down to their 20th string lineman, so it was a bit of a circumstance there. But Tampa Bay won a lot of games that way on defense, and then with selective blitzing. So, suffocating the way the 85 Bears did and the 2000 Ravens did, probably not. But that recipe is still successful and will still be successful no matter how many things they put in place to help quarterbacks in the offense. If you can control things up front, you got a good chance of being a dominant defense. Tulio, thanks for the super chat. Is Jenkins the best value we've taken in the last 10 years? I mean, he's in the conversation, right? The fact they got him in the second round and he can play all 5 positions at a high level doesn't suck. Who are the other options we could bring in for punter other than Winslow? Robin, your guess is as good as mine. I'm sure they have their eye on not only the waiver wire, but camps and preseason games around the league. There's every possibility they have their eye on someone that, there might be even somebody on the street, might be somebody in Canada. They will scour the earth looking for talent. I don't pretend to be up on the latest news when it comes to possible punter replacements. How much of a difference do you think a defensive coordinator can make when we've had issues? Sorry, just went away. Issues that are fundamentally defensively, specifically tackling. I feel like a new DC should coincide with different personnel to an extent. I hear you, Donnie, and that's why I kind of just said what I said regarding the defense. I think, the Packers have done a really good job of acquiring talent, but they are still the same guys with the same type of temperament and fundamentals. I've said for years now, for a decade now, if you want good tacklers, you got to draft them, because there is no time in the NFL, and the coaches afford no time to teaching tackling. There is reinforcement of technique, but there is no teaching. You arrive in the NFL, you are what you are as a tackler. And the Packers have got lots of athletes, but precious few tacklers, or precious few guys who really like contact and are truly physical. Henry Black is a lone exception there. I really liked what I saw from him this camp. He's a guy who seems to really relish contact. So maybe that helps a little bit in sub packages. But for the most part, yeah, you are who you are. And the Packers have a lot of athletes. They don't have much nasty. They don't have very many sound, sure tacklers. It's just the way it is. You got to draft them. And the Packers prefer drafting athletes and guys who are versatile. That's always the watchword. Brian always says that. Our guys are versatile enough to do it all. Well, that's great. I'd like all to include tackling. And a lot of the times it doesn't. Go Pack Go. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Kevin King said he thinks he'll be the best player in the NFL this year. Far-fetched, but I love the mentality. Hopefully he redeems himself this year. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? You want to be the best, right? And if you're not striving to be the best, what are you doing out there? There's a reason these guys get to the NFL. They are the 1% of the 1%, right? And they want to be the best. They should want to be the best, 100%. Phil, will Benkert make the 53, or will the Packers take the risk and hopes he makes it through the waivers and put him on the practice squad? Phil, I suspect they'll take the risk. Now, if he lights it up against the Bills, if he shows out much like he did against the Jets, that's going to make it a really tough decision, because we all know quarterback play in today's NFL is a true commodity. And the idea that you could slip him through waivers is probably becomes a little less likely if he looks good, really good again. I'm not saying he looked like a superstar against the Jets, but he looked very, very good. Much better than some of the quarterback play we've seen throughout the preseason on other teams. So it's going to be a real conversation. I suspect they'll still take the chance, though. That would be my suspicion, but I'm just guessing. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Do you think mostly that draft and develop is over? No. That's still their core. It's still how they operate. Still what they're doing. I mean, look at the guys they've locked up long term. David Bakhtiari, Kenny Clark. They're working on Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones is back on a second contract. Jair is going to be given a second contract. They draft guys. Elton Jenkins is a homegrown product. He'll get another contract. They're still drafting and developing these guys. Yes, they augment things, and they'll bring in a free agent or two in the way probably Ted wouldn't have, but it's not like draft and develop is over. That is still the lifeblood of this team, and will be as long as Brian's around, no doubt. TKM, good to see you at your post, buddy. Thanks for the super chat. Okay, Mr. Nagler, time for the guess. What say you for our record this year? I will go 13-4. Pappies. Well, you're just going to have to wait, sir. Christmas will come and you get to open your presents. I do a prediction post/video every year, and I will again this year, and you will get my prediction. Just going to have to wait. That'll come next week after the cut down to 53. James, thanks for the super chat. Nags, ready for love versus an angry Mitchell? Yes, a very angry Mitchell. Love versus anger. It's a classic tale. Peter, thanks for the super chat. When's the last time we had a kick punt return for a TD? I miss special teams. I think it was when Micah Hyde was still in town. It's been a while. Been a while. Gene Charles will ball out this season. Robin, I hope you're right. I think he's got talent. There's upside there. Long way to go, though. Sandy, help. I live in Bears country. If I hear another fan trash love and Caulfield's the next coming of Jesus, I'm moving to Wisconsin. Bears will always suck. Well, you're absolutely correct on that last part, Sandy. And it is hilarious, right? How anything Love does, it's like, oh, it's just the preseason. And then when Fields like throws a spiral in 7-on-7, it's like, oh, we've got a QB. Fucking Bears fans are hilarious. Will the cap situation next year affect the way they draft in 2022? Bill, I highly doubt it. They'll draft what they need and what they deem to be the best players at positions of need. Working through the salary cap and things of that nature is definitely a conversation that will be ongoing throughout not only the offseason, but this season in general when they're talking about extensions and what have you. But no, the process of drafting players and acquiring talent shouldn't change too much. Who is the 2021 breakout player? Josiah DeGuara. Hey, we had a block punt TD versus the Vikings a few years ago. Josh Jackson, baby. That's right. Down in the red zone. But that's not what the gentleman meant, and you know it. Good morning from Arizona. What's up, Aaron? Good morning from New York. Hope you're well. Am I having Madden issues like everyone else? Ben, I didn't play yesterday. I played the previous 2 days, and didn't have any issues with Madden, but I had issues with my fucking sound card, I think. Got to get that fixed. Oh, Falls, why are you in here talking crap about the Brewers? Wait, I got to block you now? Don't be coming up here with your saltiness about your future World Series champion Brewers. Just take it, man. Just let it ride. Can the offense carry the defense long enough to get the defense right? Brandy, yes. This offense is going to be amazing yet again. No question about it. And yes, it's going to take some time for the defense to gel. But, when you're scoring 40 a game, you can afford it. Okay, maybe they're not scoring 40 a game, probably 32 or 35 a game. Who are the surprise late trades / cuts? King, Patrick? Well, I don't think King gets cut. Patrick, there's an outside chance maybe they trade him, but I suspect he's going to be their starter. And that's the life in the NFL, right? You never really know. He could be one of the starting guards for the Green Bay Packers, or he could be traded. Either one's a possibility. But I suspect he'll be the starter. Brandon, thanks for the super chat. I'm curious recently, do you have any idea how Wallers picks players for media sessions? Do Matt LaFleur or Gutekunst have much say in it? Oh, well, no. Gutekunst has 0 say in it. LaFleur maybe gets consulted, but no. Wallers and the PR group, essentially, there are certain players that do appear every week, such as Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones. But outside of that, they basically just decide, and they go to guys in the locker room and say, hey, can you do this? And they go, yeah. It's the price of not having an open locker room, and we can't just walk up to guys anymore. So we're at the mercy of the PR team. But yeah, that's mostly on the PR team. It's not LaFleur and Goody don't get involved. Steel Driving Crew, thanks for the super chat. Just moved to St. Petersburg, Rays Brewers World Series. I'm down with it, man. I am down with it. Hello from Basel. What's up, Storm Crow? How are you doing? Fred, thanks for the super chat. Gary versus Jameis, first sack of the season. You called it, Nags. I'm down with it. I am totally down with it. Dominic Daphne is the GOAT. The GOAT! Steven, you stealing Big B's bit? I like it, though. Dominic Daphne is the man. J.K. Scott, Michael Scott, doesn't matter. Pack dropping 40. Ryan, I'm here for that energy. I like it. How many wideouts do we re-sign? Colby, do you mean how many wideouts do they keep? I suspect 6. If Malik Taylor continues to play as he has throughout camp in the preseason. I think we've got our 5 locked in, right? We got Adams, MVS, Lazard, Amari Rodgers, Randall Cobb. Those are your 5 that will undoubtedly be there. And then Malik Taylor will make it 6. That's just guesswork on my part. Justin, thanks for the super chat. Goot has done great, but capital. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl with 12 or Love, will he be seen as a failure historically regarding his handling of this, etc.? Well, I mean, it really depends how the transition happens with Love, right? You know, say he does trade Aaron Rodgers, and then they go on and win a boatload of games, but never win a Super Bowl. Say they're like Donovan McNabb and the Eagles and Andy Reid, right? And they just go to a bunch of NFC Championship games, much like Aaron Rodgers has, but they never get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl and win one. Failure, I think that's a strong word. But hell, people call Ted Thompson a failure, and he won a Super Bowl and put the Packers in a position to be successful long term. That's what you want as a general manager. I think Ted was a major success. I know lots of people who think he wasn't. So I think, you know, long term, we'll look back, and if things go not smoothly, because I don't think it'll be smoothly, but well enough where they win a boatload of games and are contenders year in and year out, much like they have been, I think that's a pretty successful tenure. But the goal is to win a championship. You know, make no mistake about it. And it won't be any better if he trades Rodgers and then Rodgers goes and wins a Super Bowl someplace else. That will haunt him for the rest of his life, if that happens. But ultimately, you want to win a Super Bowl. And I think he's doing everything he can to achieve that goal, regardless of who the quarterback is. Go Pack Go. Thanks for the super chat. I'm still in the mindset that we never get Love as a starter on this team. I think he'll end up getting traded or just never starting. You can't completely dismiss it, but I'd be shocked. Let's just put it that way. On a plane to Hawaii, carrying the G the whole way, Andy. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it up, buddy. All right, everybody. I'm sorry I got to cut this a little short today, but I got LaFleur, I got Live X stuff I got to get to, and we got more Packer stuff this afternoon. Please do me a monster favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel so that you not only get alerts whenever we go live, whenever I'm doing these or Madden or what have you, but Andy Herman and I are going to break down the 53-man roster on next Tuesday night. So you don't want to miss that. Andy's going to join me. We're going to go live, and we're going to talk about the cut down. So make sure you're here for that. Got a couple super chats before I go. Esteban, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, I'm from Costa Rica, and I'm going to my first Packers game against Washington. I'll be around Green Bay a couple days, so any advice to get the full Lambeau game day experience? Thanks. I'll give you the short version. Get there early, get to lot 1, and soak it all in. Obviously, visit Titletown, but you got to get to Kroll's, get some Butterburger love, and be on the lookout for my video of top Nagler things to do in Green Bay, because there's some stuff off the beaten path you're going to want to hit, but make sure you watch that video when it hits. Dave, thanks for the super chat. I get that not having non-state media locker room access sucks, but limiting numbers does help to limit risk. Delta breakthrough cases are for real. Hey, I'm not bitching about it. I know there are media members who are upset about the fact that there is no open locker room, at least to start the season. I am totally fine with it. Of course, I live in New York. It's really easy for me to say. I do everything through Zoom anyway. But yes, you are correct. They are limiting risk. It's all a question of, the question really is, how long do they keep this up, right? It's one thing to do it because you're trying to limit risk, trying to keep people safe. Totally agree with that. But we get them here next year and things are a little bit more under control and they're still saying, no open locker room. Well, then it's time to raise some hell. All right, everybody. Can't thank you guys enough. Take it easy. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.